Tip-off here in Newark, New Jersey. Shaka Smart's Golden Eagles, second place in the Big East. They have won 6 of their last 7 games. Look at the starting lineups today, and Shaka Smart has used the same starting 5 in every game this year. Seton Hall trying to keep it going. It was Casey Nadefo who was the hero on Wednesday against UConn for Shaheen Holloway in his first year as the head coach at his alma mater. Trying to win their 5th consecutive game and make it back-to-back wins over ranked opponents, something they have not done since November of 2017. Pat Driscoll, Earl Walton, Evan Burrows are officials, and we are underway at the Rock.
And one thing you'll see, both of these teams primarily man-to-man, may sprinkle a little zone here and there, but watch this Marquette offense, one of the best in the country.
A corner 3 for Olivier Maxence Prosper is good.
Well, if you're looking for a microcosm, there it was. Tyler Kolek penetrating and then knocking out a three-pointer. They are the number 7 half-court offensive team in the nation. They will school you in the half-court if you're not careful.
We spoke to a couple of NBA scouts before the game, and Prosper was one of the first names out of their mouths. Turnaround by Tyrese Samuel is good, with the shot clock winding down. Cam Jones had a big second half against Providence on Wednesday, and he travels here.
Well, take a look at this first three-pointer. Look at Dawes, stop it right there. He's looking at the ball. He doesn't know that somebody's back here. And Tyler Kolek gets in the lane and just causes that kind of confusion when you get in the lane.
Kadari Richmond had a double-double against UConn on Wednesday. 18 points and a career-high 10 rebounds for the junior out of Brooklyn. Here's Nadefo with the shot clock down to 5.
They love to come and W on the baseline, Marquette. They force a ton of turnovers.
Yeah, and they forced one there as Seton Hall was not aware of the shot clock.
If you go into the corner, they're going to come and get you automatically. That's a great spot to come and get somebody. They cause the confusion there, get a shot clock violation. That's one thing about Marquette. They are one of the best there is at turning people over.
Opponents average almost 16 turnovers a game against Marquette. Jones, the 3 won't go, and the rebound is corralled by Nadefo. Deflected near midcourt, but Seton Hall maintains possession.
Now, Seton Hall's way different. They're one of the best defensive teams in the country, number 17 according to Ken Palm. They have their problems offensively, especially in the half court.
Kolek commits the foul down low. We spoke with Shaka Smart before the game, and we asked him about the first meeting back in late December, and he said, look, Seton Hall has a lot more confidence right now than they did back then. And a lot of it is because of that man right there, Casey Nadefo.
A great screen on an out-of-bounds play. And one thing about Nadefo, he just has a nose for the basket. He's only 1 for 16 from 3 on the year, but this kid around the basket can make a lot of things happen.
And a turnover by Marquette as Dahl has got a hand on it. In transition, a bad pass by Richmond. Marquette takes it right back.
One of Seton Hall's problems is they average 14 turnovers a game, and that hurts them so much on the offensive end. They've got to be stronger and tougher and make better decisions.
We talked to Shaheen Holloway yesterday. He said one of the big keys for Seton Hall today is to keep Marquette out of transition as Richmond buries the jumper.
To me, he's a huge key on Seton Hall, Kadari Richmond, because he has the most upside of anybody there. He can have a great game, or he can have a so-so game. They need a great game out of him tonight. That was a good sign.
And Prosper travels. Kadari Richmond averaging close to 10 points per game.
Yeah, I mean, off that dribble handoff, he just comes over, and, they went behind it, which, you figure, because he's an inconsistent shooter in a lot of ways. That time he made him pay.
3 early turnovers by Marquette. They only commit 9 per game, which is best in the Big East.
Especially when you play the speed that they play at.
And a whistle inside. Cam Jones commits the foul.
You know, Villanova doesn't turn it over a lot, but Villanova plays an extremely slow pace. You got a Marquette team that's one of the best fast-breaking teams in the country. That's an incredible number, 9 turnovers.
Richmond, nice foul and the finish by Odie Kelly.
Yeah, that was a mistake there by Marquette, just lost it.
Richmond averages a team high 4 assists per game. Jones had 18 in the second half on Wednesday. Uses the glass here.
Tough shot. I tell you, he makes a lot of tough shots. He makes a lot of tough jumpers, and he makes tough drives.
7th in the Big East, averaging 16 points per game. And he was a big reason why they were able to hold off the Friars on Wednesday in Milwaukee.
Yeah, 18 in the second half, and that was another bad pass.
And taken away by Marquette.
I mean, I think Richmond should have seen there were 2 guys, 2 blue shirts in there on that pick and roll.
Here's Jones, and his runner is short and grabbed down by Samuel. Seton Hall 8-2 at home this year. They've won 3 straight on this floor.
Where's that going?
Miscommunication, and that takes us to a timeout. But Seton Hall with Femi Odikale throwing it down out to an early 3-point lead on CBS Sports Network. The loudest they've heard this building for a Seton Hall game in a number of years, and you get the sense that they're trying to ride that wave. Another good crowd here today. Early 3-point lead for Seton Hall. Chase Ross has entered for Marquette. No surprise for the Pirates. Shaheen Holloway has kept his starters in a long time out of the gate in the last few games.
And he does have a very good bench. 3 very productive guys come off the bench for him.
Shot clock at 5. Iguodaro turnaround is good.
This kid gets better and better, and we talked about it in the open. They're 4 and 5 man. Iguodaro and Prosper. Right now they're playing small. They like to do this. They like to play small with Joplin as the 4 man. It gives them even more mobility.
That one does not work, and a turnover by the Pirates.
I got to be honest with you. They have 5 turnovers, Seton Hall. 3 of them, I'm sitting there saying, where is he trying to throw that?
Iguodaro in the first game, a double-double, one of his 3 double-doubles on the year. Also had 4 assists and 3 blocks.
He has a more than 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio, and so does Prosper. How do you 2 big men have that? You don't see that very often.
Kola to the corner. Ross's 3 won't go. Offensive rebound. Joplin for 2.
Kadari Richmond did not box out there. He was looking at the ball. He got caught ball watching, and when you ball watch, that's what happened. You got to put a body on somebody.
Joplin, the sophomore out of Milwaukee. Good defense here by Marquette. Seton Hall looking for an opening. Richmond will launch a 3 and connect. His 11th 3-pointer of the year, but he's shooting him at a pretty good clip, a career best 38%. And a foul before the drive.
Well, Kadari Richmond just made a nice 3 there, but take a look. This is what you call ball watching. He needs to put a body here. Instead, he's watching the ball, and he just gets beat. He's got to know better on that. He's a veteran player. Too easy.
Seton Hall foul. Their first was against Tyrese Samuel. Joplin step back 3. He's their best 3-point shooter by percentage, and he's 10th in the Big East at 40%. Loose ball scramble, scooped away by Odikale. Bounces it to Richmond. Inside, no.
I think it's good for Seton Hall to try and push the pace a little bit to get some easy ones so they don't have to play in the half court the whole game. Good defense there by Tyrese Samuel. That was good help on the baseline.
Shaheen Holloway thought Iguodaro was out of bounds. No call. Now Joplin three. No. Iguodaro tips it out to Ross. Shot clock resets to 20. There's Joplin. Oh, beautiful feed to Oso.
You know, sometimes you can help too much, and that was an example of too much help. Iguodaro's man came over to help. Probably didn't have to. It looked like they were going to cut the baseline off. And that's why he was so open.
Odekali feeds one to Samuel. Had it picked away by Iguodaro. Iguodaro getting it done on both ends of the floor for Marquette. Prosper, a lot of contact, and a blocking foul is called on Seton Hall. That'll go on Odekali.
And you're going to see here, Marquette, they drive it, and Odekali comes over, probably did not need to. And actually, no one helped him. If you're going to come and help, you got to come and help the helper. He didn't get any that time.
No surprise to see Marquette sharing the basketball. They already have 3 assists on their 5 made field goals. In the first meeting against Seton Hall, they had 21 assists on 33 made field goals.
Yeah, I mean, what Shaka's done with this team, the guys back from last year didn't play that much except for Kolek. Just done an unbelievable job in terms of developing his guys.
Foul inside as Shaheen Holloway finally goes to his bench with Trey Jackson coming in and committing the foul. Holloway meeting with him yesterday and asking him about the opportunity to come back to Seton Hall. He said, look, it's home, and I know there's a lot of expectations that come with that, but I'm okay knowing that they expect us to win. I want that. Perfect guy for the job after Kevin Willard went to Maryland.
Oh, no doubt about it. That was an easy one. The guy goes to the Elite Eight with St. Peter's. That was an easy one. But here's another guy that I recruited that I didn't get. They're all over the place now coaching. It's one thing, and that makes me feel worse. Now they're even coaching. Makes me feel not only like I didn't get him, but that I'm old, too, on top of it.
He was nice. He said you already had a good team. You didn't want to disrupt your rhythm.
He was very nice. He was a great player, #1 all-time in assists.
And still 4th in steals.
And 1,500 points.
Not bad. Shot clock's down to 3. Joplin is aware of it, puts it up, and hits.
I mean, he's another guy. I look at Cam Jones and Joplin, that those guys make so many tough shots.
Joplin had 8 points against Seton Hall in the first meeting.
I guess, Andy, that's called being good.
Yeah, and this is a good team, ranked number 20. And a travel against Trey Davis, and that takes us to a timeout. But how about David Joplin from the outside?
Yeah, one of the highest scorers you have comes off the bench and knocks one out at the end of the shot clock.
Mark them into the tournament, which a few weeks ago you would have said, I don't think so, but now things have changed quite a bit for Seton Hall.
Well, you take a look at that resume. That strength of schedule, being 6, is huge. They don't have to have a 25-5 record to get in with that kind. And they have 3 quad 1 wins already, and there'll be many more opportunities in the Big East.
And what a week this could be. Already a win over a ranked UConn team. Maybe they can pick up another one today.
They only play zone 3% of the time, Seton Hall. I love zone against Marquette.
Iguodaro able to hit.
Didn't look it there, but I do love zone against Marquette. But that was very good offense. They got the ball right into that key area against that zone quickly. You can't let the ball get there so easily.
Yeah, you were calling for Providence to play some zone on Wednesday.
Well, especially because Tyler Kolek was penetrating on every possession. Pick and roll, pick and roll. It's a way to stop Tyler Kolek from penetrating.
Davis for 3, and that stops a 7-0 run by Marquette.
Trey Davis was a good player at Louisville. Was never a great shooter. Knocks one out there.
Just his 8th three-pointer of the year.
Oh, that's open. Too open.
Wide open. Joplin misses, and the rebound to Odekali. Up ahead, Jackson, tough pass. And he's able to slow it down. Now to Hall's baseline. And he's swatted by Joplin. In transition comes Ross. Seton Hall racing to get back. Ross beats him down there.
Boy, this freshman, he's going to be something. They got 3 freshmen and a sophomore coming off the bench, and they are all going to be good. Well, Joplin already is.
And Smart told us before the game, you don't know how freshmen, tough atmosphere will play on the road in conference play, as we have a foul on Marquette. But certainly Chase Ross stepping up early here.
Well, you're going to see Dawes here. He's got to know there's a whole lot going on under that basket. And a good finish there by Ross,
who commits the foul, and now we'll get a breather with 9:52 to go in the first half. Richmond on the bench right now for Seton Hall. Jameer Harris is checked in.
Jameer Harris is a really good shooter, but he has not shot it well this year. 21 from 3. Last year, 40.
Jackson turns it over. Mitchell up ahead, and Mitchell with the jam. That's what Shaheen Holloway wanted to avoid, keeping them out of transition.
You know, but if you're going to turn it over or take a tough shot, I mean, they already have in this game 8 turnovers in 10 minutes.
And 8 turnovers, 6 field goals for Seton Hall.
And Marquette does steal it over 9 times a game. They have 4 steals in this game already.
Jackson catch and shoot 3 is too strong. But Davis was able to bail him out until a shot clock expires. Trey Jackson, the air ball 3. And since it doesn't touch the rim, you have the shot clock violation.
Yeah, right now, the problem for Seton Hall is their half-court offense hasn't been great. They need to push it. They need to get stops and push some transition, try and get something easy before that Marquette defense, which is not their strength. It's been pretty good so far, though.
Saw 11 points off turnovers for Marquette early. Joplin to a cutting Mitchell. Shot clock at 3. Mitchell off balance. Shot won't go, and Davis clears. Odekali bounces it to Samuel, and a foul. David Joplin commits the foul.
See, even in that case, that was kind of a semi-transition, so the Marquette defense wasn't set. He attacked quickly, and that's what created this opening there, and they get 2 free throws out of it. And really, Tyrese Samuel, he's got to finish that one.
Samuel is the only 4-year Pirate on the roster. Senior year out of Montreal.
You know, the amazing thing about him, Andrew, when we first saw him 4 years ago, he was out in the perimeter, shot a lot of threes. He's only taken 8 threes on the season. He's been mostly in the low post this year.
And Shaheen Holloway's been working with Samuel to become more aggressive, to be that 5 guy inside. Use your physicality and your size, and we're starting to see more of that for Samuel.
And let me tell you something. Nothing beats having a big guy down low that can score in a close game. Throw him the ball 3 feet from the basket, and then you can still work off him and get an open 3 or whatever. But inside out is the way to play the game.
Jones, pretty shot for the freshman.
And you know what Shaka tells before the game? Freshmen haven't played well on the road. They look pretty good today.
They look really good.
And that's what happens with freshmen. They usually don't play well on the road until they start playing consistently well at home.
Davis with the jam.
You know what I like about that offense? They switch sides of the floor. You got to reverse the ball when the team is helping so well. Keep the ball moving both sides of the floor.
Davis did not play in Wednesday's win over UConn. Prosper inside, and he draws the foul. But Marquette getting out in transition, and they've opened up a 5-point lead.
Well, Stevie Mitchell, normally a really good defender, fiddle-type team. They spread you out. That's another reason. You don't offensive rebound as well when you spread the floor. So there are things, there's a little give and take. But the defensive rebounding, that's got to be better.
Prosper is at the line.
I mean, right now, you know, it may look like you have Marquette that's 10 for 18 from the field. To say, well, it's Seton Hall's defense. No, it's not Seton Hall's defense. They have 9 turnovers. And when you allow turnovers and steals, you don't get to set your defense up. When they were set on defense, they've had some pretty good stops.
Marquette started shooting 4 out of 10, but since then they are 6 for their last 8, and they lead at 24-17.
And a lot of that is because of those steals and turnovers.
Davis passes to his brother. 2 sets of brothers on this Seton Hall team.
Good cut.
And Dawes finishes. First bucket of the day for Alamir Dawes. Jones locates Kolek. He's been quiet so far in this first half. Prosper in the paint, nowhere to go. Fans want to travel. Instead, a steal by Davis. With Jones back. Davis all the way. Missed it.
Great steal. Got to finish that one.
Kolek splits the D. Prosper steps into a 3. And the long rebound is grabbed by Dawes, and a foul is committed by Sean Jones.
Take a look at Alamir Dawes, the way he moves without the ball. Watch here. I'll tell you what, stop it right there. Look what he does. He gets that 1 foot this way, defender leans, and he goes back door. That's just a great job of moving without the ball. Take your man one way and go the other way.
Dawes gets a nice hand as he heads to the bench with 6:20 to go in the first half. Richmond back on the floor for Seton Hall, driving here with the left hand.
I mean, this kid can be so good. That was a big time move. You got a 6'6" point guard who's terrific. Look at the crossover he does there, and then the finish in the end. He is a huge key. Look, against UConn, their best win of the year was UConn, 18 points, 10 rebounds. In the Big East, he's their leading scorer, rebounder, and assist guy.
And he completes the 3-point play after Prosper picks up his first foul. 24-22. Kolek off-balance shot is wide.
They've done a terrific job on Kolek.
Harris. And he'll pull it back to Richmond.
Another one.
Richmond bounce pass, tough one, fielded by Davis, up and in. And we're tied. And Shaheen Holloway, a little bounce in his step as Marquette calls timeout. Started 0-3 in Big East play, and the NCAA tournament seemed like a long shot at that point, but his team has really started to gel, and as Casey Nadefo said after Wednesday's win, guys are buying in to what Shaheen Holloway is preaching.
I mean, your first year is your first year. He's got a lot of new guys on this team, so everybody's new to his system. Not the easiest thing in the world.
Jones with the 3.
I'm telling you, that was sky-high 3-point shot. That was above the shot clock.
He averages just under 3 threes per game, which is second most in the Big East.
They always tell you put arc on the ball. He listened. There's that trap on the base. Has a good pass.
Richmond left alone. Back out Davis for 3 is good.
Right now, Kadari Richmond is showing that he potentially, I'm not saying he is, to be the best player on the floor.
Second 3 of the game for Dre Davis.
Good back cut there.
And Jones the finish off the feed from Oso.
Really good back cut and a nice pass. You saw Iguodaro there, what he does.
Shaka Smart said all summer that no big man would pass the ball more than Oso this year. And he could be right. He worked hard at it. Did play the perimeter in high school, but showing off his skills here as Seton Hall turns it over. And that's their 10th of the game.
Well, you take a look here. They clear the side out. Davis tried to deny him, and he just got beat back door. It happens.
Prosper spins, tied up by Davis and knocked away. And now behind the play, Nadefo and Prosper tangled up together. And let's see what this excellent officiating crew decides to call here.
I think they're going to look.
Definitely some elbows were. 36th meeting all time between Marquette and Seton Hall. The first one was back in 1956. Marquette has won 3 straight in the series, including in late December of this season. Harris for 3. Just can't get him to go, but the offensive rebound for Dre Davis goes right back up. His shot is short.
Yeah, I mean, Jameer Harris came from American University, shot 40% from 3 last year for Seton Hall, but this year has not been able to buy one.
Yeah, 20% for Harris this year. Jones to the ceiling for 3.
I'm telling you, this kid must have never played in a church league, where the ceilings are low. He hit the ceiling before he made his shot.
That was way up there.
He couldn't play at my church, I'll tell you that. Would have hit the ceiling.
Richmond thought about trying to answer. Now it's Harris driving. Iguodaro closes him out. And then Jones got a hand on it to deflect it away. Ross in transition. Swatted by Nadefo. Kolek left alone. Can't hit the 3. And a whistle inside and a foul against Marquette.
Well, Nadefo showed why he's the national active leader in block shots with 342 now, coming out of nowhere to get that one.
At the other end, it was Iguodaro who deflected it. That's one thing that Marquette tracks all season long, deflections. In fact, during all of their team huddles on a whiteboard in the huddle, it says how many deflections they have in the game. They try to target 32 per game. They've been averaging 35 this year for Shaka Smart.
Yeah, Shaka feels like if we have 32 deflections, we're going to win the game.
Chase Ross commits his second foul to 1-1 for Kadari Richmond. Coming up 18-2 at the half, Brent Stover, Wally Zerbiak, Shelvin Mack, and Seth Davis will get you caught up on all the highlights from around college basketball. It's all coming up on AT&T at the half.
The one area that Marquette has really done a good job is keeping Seton Hall off the foul line. They've only taken 6 free throws, and they're one of the best teams in the country at getting to the free throw line, number 19 in free throw attempts per game.
And a foul on the floor is going to go against Alamir Dawes. That's his second. Strange to see Kolek so quiet, Steve. He's yet to score. Does have 3 assists for Marquette.
And they're not the usual kind of assists that you see him get. He's not controlling the game. The other day against Providence, he controlled the entire game.
No doubt. Joplin. That's an up and down. Turnover by Marquette. That is number 6.
Up and down. What do you think about the park?
That's what I used to call it.
That's what we do too. I think it's called a travel officially.
Officially a travel in the book.
I'm sorry to, I don't know.
No, you're right. I don't think I had the official terminology there. And an interception. Joplin.
You leave your feet like that, bad things are going to happen.
Jones again for 3. Cam Jones dialing it up from deep. That's his 3rd triple of the half.
One of the 2 best shooters in the entire league.
He's already got 13 points.
Sophomore. Every one of these guys can come back over to the lob there. They read it well.
Another Seton Hall turnover.
I know what Shaheem Holloway's going to talk about at halftime. 13, they're 11 for 17 from the field, and they have 13 turnovers.
And he looks ill after that last turnover.
Yeah, you talk about a guy who didn't turn it over much.
Yeah. Kolek, tough pass that Iguodaro could not handle, but it will stay with Marquette. The shot clock at 8.
They're really fortunate to only be down 6.
And they average 14 turnovers a game. They have 13 in the first half.
When they get a shot, they're making them. That's a bad defense.
And Ross lays it in for 2. Largest lead for Marquette. This crowd has gone quiet. Nadefo lost it. Joplin to the ground and a tie-up. The possession arrow favors Seton Hall. With 1:12 to go in the first half.
Well, Marquette's,
at this point of the year, I mean, he hasn't, Holloway, he's been getting his guys in, but the starters are playing a lot of minutes.
I mean, and he's got a very good bench. I mean, you look at the productivity from those 3 kids coming off the bench that regularly, Dre Davis and Trey Jackson and Jameer Harris, but he's not going with them much. And now Marquette goes zone.
Deep 3 for Dawes, halfway down and out, and the rebound to Iguodaro.
I mean, he's the best 3-point shooter by far. He's got to knock some of those out.
Final minute of the first half. Kolek leaves it for Ross, who thought about a 3, and now back to Kolek. Jones has had the hot hand in the first half. Gives it up here to Joplin. Shot clock at 5. Joplin turnaround 3. No good, and then the rebound to Seton Hall. And there's a half-second difference between game clock and shot clock.
They need to get the last shot of the half. That's what Shaheen is asking for. And now Marquette goes zone.
Go to Kelly, bounces it to Davis. Extra pass inside. And no call down low. Nadefo, 3 seconds left. Ross tripped. It'll be Seton Hall basketball with 2 seconds left. And Shaheen Holloway will use his timeout. We'll step aside for 30 seconds. Final play of the first half coming up. Since 5:07 left.
Yeah, it's been the half-court offense has been struggling. 16 to 2 points off turnovers for Marquette. There's your game right there. It's pretty simple.
See if they can get a shot here. Nadefo over to Dawes. He didn't get it off in time.
Good play.
Was a good play, but instead Seton Hall goes into the locker room down by 8 as Marquette closed the half on a 10-2 run. They've allowed just 26 points per game, so they're going to need a similar effort here against Marquette.
Hey, they were down 14, Andrew, to UConn in that last game at halftime, so they've got it in them.
Marquette 11-2 when leading at the half, and they begin the second up by 8. Jones thought about a 3, but now we'll reset for the Golden Eagles. Jones right past Dawes, leans in, counted and 1. And Cam Jones continues to tear it up.
This guy is just a born scorer. I mean, he does it all kinds of ways. He's got the 3, he's got the floaters, he's got the little bank here. He gets bumped there first. Just a guy that can put the ball in the basket. And nothing beats that in the game of basketball.
Second foul on Dawes, and the lead is 11 for Marquette. Whoa, Samuel nearly lost it.
And Marquette switches a lot of things. They've got a lot of versatile defenders.
Odekali tried to squeeze a pass in, nearly a turnover. Shot clock at 3. Samuel for 3. No, it's a 2. It's a 2 for Samuel.
Dawes and Samuel got to get more involved in this game.
Marquette turns it over. Nadefo all the way. Yes! 4 quick points for Seton Hall.
And that's kind of how it started in the second half against UConn.
Iguodaro, turnaround, pretty.
You know, they run a lot of ISO stuff. That time they had Iguodaro isolated by himself on the wing. They thought he could take Tyrese Samuel off the bounce, and he did.
8 points, 4 rebounds, couple assists for Oso so far. Samuel on the wing draws some help. Samuel thought about the jumper, now back out, and nearly another turnover. It'll stay with Seton Hall, but only 3 on the shot clock. This was the Samuel shot that was a 2, not a 3.
Yeah, he had his toe on the line. But, you know, we've seen two hands. Every time the ball goes in the post, Marquette's been aggressive with double teaming. When you play against a team that doesn't shoot it great, you can aggressively double team the low post.
Need a quick shot here. Richmond turnaround, air ball. It's a shot clock violation. And turnover number 14 by Seton Hall. Now Shaheen Holloway is saying, there's an LT jersey. It is a shot clock violation. So the turnover stands. It's Marquette basketball. And Seton Hall has now matched its per game average in terms of turnovers with 14.
And we need to understand that Marquette is a team that forces a ton of turnovers, but usually at home you're not going to turn it over as much.
Kolek takes a bump, goes to the corner. Jones another 3, not this time. The rebound is knocked out of bounds, and it's Marquette ball. Last touch by Odekali.
Of all the times I've seen Marquette this year, this is the least amount that Tyler Kolek has affected, I think, the game. He's just, you know, he's not playing bad, but he has really dominated a lot of games that I've seen.
He only has 7 games in double-figure scoring, but the other games he's still distributing and dominating, in your words.
Dominating the ball. But that's good for Marquette. If they can get a win without him doing that, that's good.
No doubt. He's going to try to get on the board here, and he does. His first bucket of the day.
I don't know who he was pointing at.
Pointing at somebody in the stands after that 3. As the lead is up to 12. Tough pass. Odekali fields it, and he's fouled on the drive. As we go back to the 3 by Kolek.
Yeah, Tyler Kolek here, I mean, they basically dare him. I mean, Tyrese Samuel's got his hand down. It's not like he's a non-shooter. Granted, he doesn't look for a lot of it, but he shoots at 33, 34%. It's not like he can't make them.
Foul was on Kolek. That's his second. Odekali misses the first free throw.
One thing I would tell my guys, I'd say, you got to understand, you have to make him miss. This guy shoots 34% or 30% because people make him miss 70%. You can't just let him shoot it.
At Pitt last year, Odekali was 63% at the line. It's down to 50% here with Seton Hall, and he goes 1 out of 2.
Wow, that's terrible.
He'll take it.
Oh, boy, yeah, that wasn't pretty.
He's laughing about it down the floor.
So is the whole bench. The assistants are laughing.
It almost was one for the highlight reel. Now it's, you know, maybe a quick clip.
He almost broke his back. That's what they used to call it when I was coaching in high school in the Bronx. If that happened, they'd call it a backbreaker when you stuck yourself on the rim.
Here it is again as the seas part, and it still goes in.
It's almost a backbreaker. Oh, that was close to being a backbreaker.
Third foul on Prosper, so he's going to come out of the game for Marquette.
It's just amazing that this team was picked 9th in the preseason because all these guys have doubled what they did last year. It's really a testimony to Shaka Smart.
Iguodaro, the big block on defense. Marquette running the break. Joplin, transition 3 won't go. And the rebound to Mitchell.
They're just more engaged right now than Seton Hall is.
And his crowd has gone quiet. It was buzzing right before tip and through a lot of the first half, but not right now. Jones inside. Good defense by the Pirates. Dawes the other way with Kolek back. Dawes right around him for 2.
Dawes and Tyrese Samuel, they've got to get involved in this game.
And a whistle, and that's a hold. It's going to be a foul on Seton Hall. Kadari Richmond grabbed the cutter, and that's a good call by Pat Driscoll.
Yeah, I mean, that's an easy one.
First foul on Richmond. Playing in his 80th collegiate game, including his time at Syracuse. Iguodala! This time he's got it! And the foul!
Seton Hall was going to switch that dribble handoff. The dribble handoff that never happened. And that's why they got all messed up here. They were going to switch that. Kadari Richmond didn't switch. And I think Tyrese Samuel expected him to. And here was the result.
Oso not laughing this time. He had that look on his face throwing that one down. Samuel commits his third foul. And now Oso at the line to make it a 14-point lead. Iguodala in double figures. He's got 13 points. Seton Hall trying to scrap for it on the floor. Kolek and Odikali, and a tie-up. The possession arrow favors the Pirates. Takes us to a timeout. Marquette increasing the lead. They're up by 14 on Seton Hall.
About Marquette. Marquette is number 2 in the nation in two-point field goal percentage, shooting 60% on the season. How about tonight? They are 14 of 19 from two-point tonight. That's why this is one really, really good offensive team.
With our producer Bill Thayer and director Matt Plundo, our entire crew here on CBS Sports Network. Seton Hall trailed UConn by 14 at the half, down 14. They now put it up. Harris. Yes. Did he get it off in time? Shaka Smart says he did not.
How could Kadari Richmond really have no idea? With 2 seconds to go, he put him out. Not to belabor the point, and your point guard doesn't know that the clock is going.
Seton Hall has now committed 15 turnovers. Their season high came in their first game of the year against Monmouth when they turned it over 20 times. Jones for three. To the ceiling and in.
And you know what? When he makes them, it doesn't even touch the net. It just goes like straight down.
He averaged 7 points per game last year. Now he's averaging better than 16 points a game, and he's got 19 today.
He's a good guy to have because you won't wear out your nets either. You won't have to buy too many.
Dawes inside. Dribbles out of trouble. Harris for three. Does it again. This time it counts, though.
Well, that helped, obviously.
Back down to 14, and if Harris can heat up, he's going to stay out there for Holloway.
But they got to figure out a way to stop this team in the half court because this team is like a machine in the half. Well, that's a good start.
Poked away. Richmond 1 on 3. Oh, and he turns it over.
You leave your feet in the middle of the lane.
And Shaheen Holloway just buried his head after that one.
You make a nice steal.
Ross, baseline. Iguodala cuts. Counted and one. Oso does it again. Playing with aggression here in the second half.
I'll tell you what, those freshmen aren't bad either. That was a great pass from Ross.
Second foul on Richmond.
Every guy on this team can be back for at least 2 years. That's his weakness. Not a good free throw shooter.
50% on the season. 55-39, 6 minutes into the second half. Here's Harris, guarded by Iguodala. Shot clock at 7. Iguodala, deflection and a steal.
Shaheen doesn't know what he's looking at.
Jones, deep three. Not this time. Long rebound right to Ross. Good hustle by the freshman. Now Joplin left alone for three. And Dawes the board. You're right. Seton Hall looks a little flat out there right now.
No doubt. They're getting a lot of easy shots, Andrew.
Dawes way short.
Turning it over. But the body language right now, not good.
Iguodaro splits the D, and he's fouled. And he is having his way with Seton Hall in the second half. Third foul on Richmond.
I mean, just attacking the rim. Another miscommunication there on the dribble handoff. This team knows how to slip. They know how to, you know, really confuse you in the half court.
He had a double-double in the first game against Seton Hall. 16 points, 10 rebounds. He's got 16 points tonight. And substitutions for Shaheen Holloway. He has seen enough of this unit for the time being.
Yeah, they need some energy right now. There is none.
The Defo, Dawes, and Richmond all exit. One out of two for Oso.
Really good help by Cam Jones that time, getting to the line of the ball.
Turnover number 18 for the Pirates. No look pass by Iguodaro. Ross, corner three, won't go. Iguodaro, the offensive board. Cannot do any wrong here in the second half. And now 7 offensive rebounds in the game for Marquette. But just 2 for the Pirates. Shot clock at 5. Joplin around Jackson. Back out to Ross. They got to put one up. Ross will. And it's good. The Golden Eagles getting everything to drop tonight.
One of those days.
And Shaheen Holloway calls timeout. With the shot clock winding down, Chase Ross puts one up, and the bench loves it.
Doesn't shoot the ball well, just can do so many things for you.
If you're Seton Hall and you're Shaheen Holloway, what did you tell your team at that timeout, other than don't turn it over?
No, you told them, listen, you guys better give me an effort now. I don't know what's going to happen for the next. I know I've been in this situation. I don't know what's going to happen in the next 12 minutes, but I better see some effort out there. That's all I know.
Davis bounces one to Jackson, who draws the foul. David Joplin with his second, and Trey Jackson will go to the line.
I think right now, you got to have a little pride. That's what they need to find, some pride. I mean, they're a good team. They've got a chance to get to the tournament. I don't know what's going to happen the rest of today, but they need to give a better last 12 minutes.
I mean, I think the optimistic Seton Hall fan probably said at the beginning of the week, let's split against UConn and Marquette and we'll be all right. But when you win the first one, you get a little greedy and you want to be able to try to steal one against another ranked opponent.
And you're not playing well, which is probably the worst part of it.
Mitchell. And an offensive foul is called against Stevie Mitchell. Takes us to a timeout. Marquette's lead is 18 on CBS Sports Network.
And how about Gonzaga? When they lose there, it's always a surprise. LMU took them out, and then Kansas losing it. When usually Kansas had built up. I don't know how many times he's lost the game on the road, come back to Allen Fieldhouse and lost that game. They got drilled today by DCU.
A game you saw on CBS. All right, 11:50 to go here.
TCU's really good. I saw him live earlier in the year. Really good.
See if Seton Hall can put together a run. And Sean Jones. No, they're going to get Trey Jackson for the foul. Take another look at this one. Looked like Jones came over. And,
oh, that's an illegal screen.
Yeah. Instead, it's on Jackson.
Wow, that's who, you know, it's just not going for you. Shaheen's right.
Second foul on Trey. And Jackson just commits another foul.
Such a good ball handler for his size. I mean, he's comfortable having the ball on the wing in isolation and taking somebody off the dribble. No problem.
And that's the 7th team foul on the Pirates, so it's a 1-and-1 for Marquette. Iguodaro makes the front end. He's got 17 points. He's 7 of 7 from the floor.
And Marquette has another freshman in there high on Ben Gold. He's been in for a minute or so for the first time. And he plays just about every game. I'm surprised he didn't get in the first half.
6'11" out of New Zealand. And a good point in this game for Shaka Smart to get him some exposure on the road in a Big East environment. Shot clock down to 5. Go to Kelly, to the hoop, no good. Rebound Davis and a foul. It'll be 2 shots. We asked Shaheen Holloway, what was it like in the locker room after the win over UConn on Wednesday? And he said, I'm not a big rah-rah kind of guy. We got a lot more work to do. However, he did say in his post-game press conference that the team is starting to understand what he wants, that if they defend and keep teams out of transition, they have a chance to win. They haven't defended that poorly today, but it's been the turnovers. That's been the major issue, and also it hasn't been a typical Seton Hall defensive effort.
Yeah, no question. The half-court defense, when they've made Marquette's set up, hasn't been great, but it hasn't been awful. But the problem is when you're allowing these baskets in transition because you've given up 19 turnovers, it's hard to have a set defense, and people are, everything's helter-skelter because of that.
And Gold loses it. A turnover by Marquette. Jackson up ahead, and he will go to the line. Marquette has won 6 of their last 7. You look at their tournament profile right now in the net at number 17. Good wins over Baylor, UConn, Providence the other night. What do you think their ceiling is this year, Lap?
I mean, this team has lost 5 games this year by less than 5 points. 2 of them were in overtime. So they've played with everybody. They drilled Baylor early in the year, killed them. I think this is a very, very good team. The thing about them is they can really score in the half court. And when you get to the NCAA tournament, it's not about they force turnovers, but in that environment, you need to be able to play half court, and they can play half court.
It's amazing. They haven't won an NCAA tournament game in 10 years. 2013 is the last time when they went to the Elite 8.
Well, I mean, let's not get ahead of ourselves. I think this team can still get a lot better, but they have a chance to be really good.
Not a good pass by Kelly. Jackson recovers. Davis inside, and a foul is called inside on Marquette. Fourth foul on Prosper. So he will come out, and David Joplin re-enters. So Tay Davis at the line, the freshman. His brother Dre, a junior. And also on the floor right now as Tay knocks in the first.
There's still a long way to go in this game, but they've got to find their intensity on the defensive end. They forced a couple of turnovers.
The lead is down to 15 with 10:08 to go. And the fans trying to get involved here in Newark.
That's where you want to. Can't stop there. Oh, that was it.
Should have been a 10-second call. Instead, Mitchell lays it in. And the Seton Hall bench is wondering why it wasn't a 10-second violation.
Shaheen thought it was a backcourt. signaling with his hand, backing over.
And Davis took his eye off the ball, and there is turnover number 20, which ties their season high. Let's see if it should have been backcourt.
He's over.
He's over. Is it back?
Oh, he
there.
stepped.
His foot was down. Yep.
Absolutely.
That's what they wanted, not the 10-second
No, they
call.
wanted the backcourt right there. Oh, my goodness.
Yep.
They missed that. That's when you really get frustrated as a coach. You're having trouble in this game, obviously. Your team's not playing well, and then that happens. And it's right there in front of you. You're not happy.
Iguodala and Joplin. Seton Hall needs a stop.
They're playing Ross a lot in this game. Good pass. Well,
out of bounds to the Pirates. Haven't seen Kadari Richmond come back in since he was taken out.
I don't think Shaheen was happy with him. Got to get some movement. A lot of handling of the ball.
Davis jumper, too strong, an air ball out of bounds to Marquette. Seton Hall this half, 4 out of 10. Turnovers continue to be a problem for the Pirates.
And they're not forcing a lot of turnovers to get some transition or get something going, so they have to set up hand in half court the whole game. That's travel.
Updated Big East standings, including a couple of results from earlier today, with Providence getting a win. So Marquette, for the moment, is tied for second, but if they win, they'll go back into solo possession of second place. And a new season high in turnovers, 21 for the Pirates.
You know, one thing you can't do is feed the post at that angle. You take a dribble to the baseline, then you dump it into the post.
Joplin, and the rebound to Jackson.
And I mean, Seton Hall's had a lot of, they got some chances because they're not playing well, Marquette, right now on offense.
Good move, but Odikali can't finish, and the rebound is taken away by Marquette. Joplin.
I thought that could have been a foul.
Davis drives in, and Marquette commits the foul. Takes us to a timeout. Golden Eagles still looking good. They're up by 17.
On the next NFL Monday QB.
Turnovers. The most they forced this year, 23 back in November against LIU.
And the funny thing about them is their defensive numbers, they're ranked number 81 in defense on Ken Palm. But that's because when you gamble, you're going to give up some baskets. But they are a much better defense than that number 81 rating, I think, makes them.
Pretty remarkable. They're up 17, and Tyler Kolek only has 3 points.
They share the ball extremely well, too, by the way.
Pick and roll, not there. Good defense by Seton Hall.
That was good defense. And I think that Shaheen Holloway is definitely making something known to Kadari Richmond.
I was just about to say the same thing. Nadefo is back in. Richmond is not.
We are on the same wavelength.
We do. We've called about 300 or 400 games together. Kolek for 3. And the rebound is Seton Hall. Dawes launches. And gets the bounce. Kadari Richmond had momentarily left the bench, but now he is back on the Seton Hall bench. Mitchell with the shot clock at 3, and it poked away by Harris, and a takeaway by Seton Hall. And now they give it right back. And that, wow, can't happen.
Who was that to?
Ross! Hello!
Chase Ross! Wow! Freshman. I think Shaka's got some good freshmen.
That was amazing by the freshman Chase Ross.
I didn't see that coming.
No, I don't think anybody did. Defo took his eye off of 23 Seton Hall turnovers. How about this play by the freshman out of Dallas?
First of all, it starts off with really a pass that was not good. They give it back to him. Oh, he gave him the Defo something to think about. Let me tell you, that's a poster.
Wow. Yeah, we spoke pregame about maybe the freshmen not being ready to play on the road in the Big East. I think we're good.
I know Jones and Ross are.
Kolek, too easy. Seton Hall entered today tied for first in the Big East with UConn, allowing only 63 points per game. They've given up 66 so far, still with 4.5 to play. And some of the Seton Hall fans are heading for the exit. Timeout Seton Hall. We'll take a timeout as well. Still trying to gather ourselves after the monster jam.
Could all be in the NCAA tournament. I'm going to guess there's going to be 4 of them. But boy, what a year for the Mountain West.
New Mexico, a big win last night over Boise State. Meanwhile, Kadari Richmond, we're being told, will not return today because of a head injury. So that's why we didn't see him on the bench for a while in the second half, and that's why he hasn't come back in. Dawes, and the offensive rebound to Davis. To Kelly for the jam.
You know, that's the area that Marquette has to continue to work at, which is their defensive rebounding. That's probably the worst stat that they own as a team.
They break the press with 4 minutes to play. A 16-point game. Ross for 3. And tip to Dawes.
Wow.
And that's another turnover. 24. And Shaheen Holloway's look says it all. It is now the most turnovers Marquette has forced in a game this year, and there it is.
Yeah, that says it all. You know, they were on such a high like 3 days ago, and this is, you know, losing like this. That's the thing.
Prosper is back in there with 4 fouls. Jones, high-arcing 3, won't go, and a good box out by Defo. Dawes, catch and shoot.
Ooh. He's not really gotten a lot of good looks tonight. Their best three-point shooter.
7 points for Dawes, averaging just under 12 per game, and a triple for Prosper. Why do the scouts like Prosper so much?
Because he's 6'8", and he can put the ball on the floor. He's athletic, and he could do that. So, I mean, there's a lot of... He's a versatile guy, and he's a good passer. He's a guy they're keeping their eye on for sure. Same with Cam Jones, same with Iguodala, and Kolek has put himself in the conversation too.
So an opportunity here for Seton Hall that they're not going to take advantage of, but here's a look at their remaining quad one games. So at least right now, 4 chances to get some more quad one wins.
And they had 3 already. I mean, usually 5 is a pretty good number, you know what I mean? But you can't have 5 and, you know, have a 500 record. You have to win those other games that I'm not saying you're supposed to win, but those lower numbered net games, got to win those too.
And they do have a loss to Siena on their ledger this year.
And let's face it, you can't take DePaul for granted. You know, you certainly can't take Villanova for granted. I don't care what their net is.
Jaquan Sanders has checked in for the first time for Seton Hall as Jones hits another 3.
That was such a good pass, Andrew. It was a simple pass from Tyler Kolek. Let me tell you, he delivered that across the court right on the numbers.
6th time this year that Jones has scored at least 20 in a game. He's got 22 today. One more turnover for the Pirates. Kolek coast to coast. 22-point Marquette lead.
I mean, how about this stat, Andrew? Marquette has taken 19 more shots than Seton Hall. I mean, that's like you got 0 chance. 19.
26 turnovers will do it. Coming up from Marquette, they're going to get the week off, and then they'll go to DePaul before returning home February 1st against Villanova.
I mean, obviously, Marquette's in really good shape. They're 18 in the net. They've got quality wins, and they're playing, and the biggest thing is they're playing well. 7 out of 8 they've won.
That's a tough place to play as well. We were at iServe Forum on Wednesday against Providence. Good crowd. Students just getting back.
Marquette has a serious basketball history, obviously, and they take a lot of pride in the basketball program. Wow.
Final minute here with Marquette about to make it 7 wins in their last 8 games as Gold got a hand on that one. We'll give Marquette the win and update the standings as the Golden Eagles go to 8-2, just a half game behind Xavier. Providence in 3rd place, and now Seton Hall and even 5-5 in Big East play. Tough day for the Seton Hall fans here. Now they got to get home and watch the Giants game. It'll be a good one.
It should be. If Daniel Jones can play like he did last week.
Good defense by Samuel. Sanders cross-court pass to Dawes. His 3 won't go down. And the shot clock is turned off. Marquette can just dribble it out, and they are going to be happy riding that plane back to Milwaukee. The Golden Eagles go to 16-5. Shaka Smart's club improves to 8-2 in league play. Their only loss is at Providence in double overtime and at Xavier. 74-53 is the final score. Cam Jones leading the way with 22 points. We've got more to come here.